All right, there we go. Live chat, perfect, copy, and paste, boom. All right, guys, let me know if you can hear me loud and clear, and then we'll go ahead and begin. Quite a lot to talk about today. Quite a good day for trading for us, to be honest. I'm not even mad about that, but just let me know, of course. First things first. Perfect. Thanks, Daytona. So yeah, I wanted to quickly, let's do a recap of Bitcoin first, and then we'll talk about the trades that we did and what to kind of expect for the next week or so. And just kind of see exactly what kind of opportunities we have ahead of us. So first things first, on Bitcoin, we were, over the weekend, we were continuing to trade around the 105 region. Now, I mentioned to you guys the reason why we're not looking for a trade opportunity in between this zone was just because of the chop. You can see in Asia hours last night around the 106.4, we ended up seeing a fake out right back down into the exponential moving averages. But remember what I've told you this many times before as well, is when you're trading Bitcoin, you want to just simply pay attention to the exponential moving averages. It'll give you an idea and a perspective that, hey, is this a fake out or is this a continuation move? If, of course, let's say, and again, this is just an example. It was not our trade, but just an example. Let's say I enter a long position on Bitcoin at 106.2. Okay, so right here, I enter my long position and immediately the market sees a drop. Now, assuming I'm low leverage, I don't have to panic until the exponential moving average is broken or a candle closed below that zone. So if it turns into something like this, then I'm like, okay, that's a false trade. Instead, if it bounces, so you see the retest and we still closed above, then there's no reason to panic, right? It's just simple chop opportunity. And the reason why I told you guys multiple times is I'm not looking for a trade until 107.3 opens. And now this is a little bit more of an educational standpoint. As soon as we saw the 107.3 region, I woke up this morning at around the 107.8 and I said, hey guys, take your profits for this trade. We're probably going to see New York open volatility. Now, why does that happen? Well, simply put, stock market opens Monday, 9:30 a.m. We tend to see crypto get extremely volatile for an hour, and then, of course, the continuation. Our overall trade on Bitcoin remained to be at 108.8, which you can see as of right now has played out. How did I know it was going to be the top of the move set? Well, we have a W formation. So that's number one. On the 4-hour time frame, we had a W formation. Number two, we were trading above our EMAs. Number three, you see this right here? This, of course, was tons and tons and tons of liquidity, and of course support level being tested over and over. Ideally, it should have acted as a strong resistance, but guess what happened? The bulls ended up breaking above that zone. All of these traders got stopped out or liquidated, and now the top of the move set is right at peak, right? So where the move set started, when I say top of the move set, it basically means where the move set started, and that's exactly where Bitcoin is likely to go, which of course you can see ended up playing out. Now, Bitcoin actually is in a really good spot, just for in terms of the overall outcome here. We, of course, knew the fact that if Bitcoin did end up losing the 100K region, that was a danger zone. But right now, we're in a pretty decent spot in order for us to see a new all-time high. Now, I'm not going to jump ahead and say, okay, guys, it's new all-time high incoming, because, again, we still have a few hurdles to get over. Number one, the next main resistance is going to be at 110K. That's a crucial zone. You can see a ton of resistance at that level. If we end up breaking above that zone, though, then yeah, simply put, Bitcoin will see a new all-time high. Again, where is it going? Nobody can tell you, because at the end of the day, there isn't anything to go off of. But simply put, as of right now, we need to see that structure level break. Would I be entering trades right now at 108.8? No, right? And the reason for that, simply put, is the top of the moveset has already played. So think of it like this. Right now, we're on a major resistance point, right? So right here, I'm drawing another, let's do green line. What do you guys think? I want to see if you guys can see it better. I'll probably do yellow. Yeah, yellow still works. Okay, so look at it from a yellow perspective, right? So you know that, hey, looking at current Bitcoin structure, there is a ton of tests here in terms of wicks. Look at how many wicks we had here. We had 5 wicks there. We had a few wicks in between this region. So I know, looking at it from this perspective, that this is going to be a crucial zone for a resistance. Would I continue looking for long positions, although that we are near all-time high? No, right? And the reason why is simply just being greedy. Instead, I'm going to wait and to see how this level plays out for the next day. What I'm looking for specifically is a candle close above 108.8, then a retest as support, and then we can continue the position, right? So look, right here, this is a perfect example. We broke above, retested support, broke the previous wick high, and boom, you entered a long position and rode the profits. That's what I'm looking for as of right now on Bitcoin. Now, assuming Bitcoin ends up rejecting this level, of course, and we see another drop back down, just pay attention to your exponential moving averages. Moving on to Ethereum. Now, this was a beautiful trade setup. I wanted to actually explain this one a little bit more in detail. How exactly I knew that we were going to end up seeing a squeeze on the white line. A lot of people message me and say, hey, Pingu, how come your lines are so accurate? How do you know that it's going to break? The thing is, I don't know it's going to break, right? And there's a few reasons how you can actually trade with that mindset. Number one, look at how many times Ethereum was testing 2550, right? We know this range from previously too, but let's just talk about it from this perspective. If I'm looking at a chart like this, and let's assume I'm not going off previous price analysis, how do I know Ethereum was going to end up breaking? And I'll explain to you guys what I saw after. So we have 1 test, 2 tests, 3 tests, 4 tests, and you can see that we continue to bounce off the EMAs, right? So the more times you end up seeing that test, and the tighter the exponential moving averages become, so you can see right here, they started flipping towards the upside while retesting resistance. And again, remember guys, what did I teach you throughout the year? What do we see on the chart right now? This candle specifically, I want to see if anyone's paying attention. Guys, what have I taught you about these candles? What is this candle? Why is this candle specifically important? Tell me. Someone tell me in the chat right now. Why is this candle important? What was different between this candle and everything else? Exactly. Manipulation, right? And the reason for that is there's no wick. You see that wick? There was no wick at that candle. Look at this candle in detail, guys. I'll zoom out even more for you so you can see. There is no wick on this candle. As soon as the candle opened, it started pushing higher. That's how you know it's going to end up being a breakout trade. That was the first thing I noticed, and I said, look, there's a manipulation. I remember sending it to the whale chat. There's a manipulation candle on Ethereum, watch 2551. We entered 2551 in the break for everyone, and we saw a squeeze. Now again, our trade setup was till 2565, right? And the reason for that is that was a major resistance. And we're going to see a retest in terms of 2565 and then a rejection. So you can see we hit 2565, rejected back down to 2555. And then, of course, once we broke, we knew our overall take profit would have been right around this range we're currently in. So now looking at it from previous price, this is what I saw. Maybe this will help you guys learn a little bit better. When I was looking at Ethereum, you guys already know, this was the same exact trade. Literally the same exact trade we took previously. And I said, look, 2551 breaks, we entered to 2565. The reason why I teach you guys wicks, is because the wicks will tell you a story. What does that mean? You can see that this wick right here at 2551, when we broke, where did we test? You see this red candle? Where did the red candle happen? It happened at 2565. So in my head, I know that we will at least get a retest to 2565. If, of course, we're going to see a fake out or a continuation or whatever, I know I'm guaranteed that 2565 retest. A $15 move on Ethereum is very nice when you're on leverage, right? So everyone knows that. It's a very simple scalp position. We don't take the risk of the chop. We wait for the break. We guarantee 2565. If the market ends up breaking higher, awesome, right? Awesome. That's better for us. We're making more money at the end of the day, and that's exactly what happened. Ethereum ended up seeing another squeeze. And then, of course, you know in the top of your head, where's the top of the move set? Where is the top of the move set? Look, this is not rocket science, guys. It wicked to the exact dollar of the top of the move set and then saw a rejection. And again, now looking at Ethereum from this perspective, if we break 2592, where's the top of the move set? 2638. Where's the next move? And you see what I'm trying to explain? Now look, this gets crazy. Let me explain a little bit more in detail now. Ethereum has been very choppy. We can all agree, right? Now zooming out on the chart, this is extremely choppy. But what do you guys see on Ethereum as of right now? If we zoom out like this, you can see we have a massive W formation on Ethereum. And now this is where momentum comes into play. If Ethereum ends up breaking above this wick high here at 2678, then you have a very nice long position back into 2796. Assuming we end up breaking above 2726, this is exactly what momentum looks like. We have already tested this level multiple times, right? So again, W formation with momentum and already multiple retests causes a massive squeeze for Ethereum. That's what I'm paying attention to for the next week. Right now, looking at Ethereum, personally, I have taken my profits. I've done the trade because it was a very simple trade. It was like a 2-minute breakout. We ended it, closed for profit. Would I be entering here per se? No, right? Because now we're in this sort of spacing out area. Anything can happen. We can see a candle rejection. We can see a fake out. We can see anything. I'm going to avoid this zone completely, not look for a trade setup in this area. Instead, I'm going to wait for the top of the moveset here around 26.78 and then enter a trade. And the reason why I know that is because I can just look at the previous price. And I'm saying, yeah, this to me isn't worth it, right? There's way too much chop in this zone. I don't feel comfortable taking that trade, so I'm not going to take that trade. So looking at, last but not least, Dogecoin, a lot of you guys messaged me for Doge today, right? You said, Pingu, Bitcoin broke out, Ethereum broke out. Why are we not entering a long position on Doge? And the reason why I didn't take a trade on Doge is because there's not really much confirmation. If we look at Doge from this perspective, can we take a long at this wick high? Sure, but where is it going to go? Well, the top of the moveset was right here. So is it really worth the risk for like not even nothing? Like realistically, no, right? Instead, a better position on Doge would be at the 20-cent wick high. That's a much cleaner breakout because that is also a trend reversal trade. And right now we have to be very careful on Doge. And the reason for that is you can see massive breakdown structure, consolidation, breakdown, consolidation. We don't want another breakdown. We don't want to get caught on that trade. And that's why I haven't sent Doge, right? A lot of you guys are like, oh, Pingu, how come we don't trade altcoins? How come we only take Bitcoin, Ethereum, whether that? Guys, realistically, if there's not a trade, I'm not going to send it. Because let's say, for example, we have a win on a Bitcoin and Ethereum, and then Doge ends up seeing a huge fake out. Now we lost all of our profits, and some of you might get liquidated. So for me, I'm only going to send the best available trades, right? And that's exactly what I do. I will send the best available trades over. And now if we look at Solana, you can see same thing, right? There's not much here. There really isn't much here in my eyes that I'm like, yeah, Solana looks great. Like, top of the moveset for Solana, most likely 161 plays, right? Top of the moveset. So this is a V-shaped formation. But if I'm already profited on Bitcoin and Ethereum today, do I really want to risk a 3-trade day? So another trade, and then, of course, a fake out happens? No. That, to me, is where I draw the line and say it's not worth it. Instead, wait till Asia hours. Maybe we get another play for Bitcoin or Ethereum, and then we can continue trading from there. And the same thing with Bitcoin, right? Like, right now, we're testing wick high. It's not worth the area of opportunity for you enter a wick high trade and see a fake out. So again, to me, this is a write-off now, right? I am not trading anymore from this front. We have already profited 107.3 guaranteed to 108.8. This is not guaranteed now. So that's why I'm not taking that trade setup. Does that make sense? Is everyone on the same page here? Because that's the way I think. Like, some of you guys message me and say, oh, why haven't you posted today? Hey, Pingu, look at Doge. Hey, look at Solana. Look at this. Guys, I'm already looking at it. Like, I do this every single day. I wake up and look at the charts for you so you don't have to. I see the altcoins and I see what they're doing, but if there's nothing worth taking, you're not going to get it. I'm not forcing a trade just to say, oh, yeah, we traded today. You get what I'm saying? So in terms of Ethereum, though, now, from a long-term perspective, this is something I actually want to talk about because excluding you guys, I have a lot of real-life friends that have been messaging me and saying, okay, what should I invest my money in, you know? And that usually happens. Like, when Bitcoin ends up seeing a new all-time high or even close to all-time high, everyone comes out of the woodwork and says, oh, crypto stuff's booming again, huh? Like, what should I buy? And that's the problem, right? Is when things are on a dip opportunity, like when Ethereum was sitting at literally 1,400, I was telling everyone, like, hey, buy Ethereum, buy Ethereum, buy Ethereum. Nobody wanted to buy because they're like, oh, tariffs and stock market and this and that. And now it's back up and they're like, oh, well, you know, I should buy some Ethereum. Looking at the current price range on Ethereum, this is super important, guys. Pay attention. This is not a shock factor. We have seen the same shock factor here before, right? Look at this. The same consolidation range on Ethereum is the same range we're seeing right now. The same choppiness, the same wick high breaks. But guess what? If Ethereum can somehow break above this range, then the next area for Ethereum is around $3,300. It is a lifetime opportunity in terms of a trade to take that in terms of a squeeze and long it for that breakout. And the reason why I'm saying this is look at how fast Ethereum dropped during the tariff stuff. We saw Ethereum drop from 3,400 peak in a 4-hour candle to 331, then the next 4-hour candle to 2,700, and then the next 4-hour candle to 2,100. Now, looking at it from that perspective, that's a huge buying opportunity. And just like it came down, the same exact way Ethereum is going to see that squeeze. And I promise you guys, you're going to ask, what's going on with Ethereum? Why is Ethereum pushing, right? Everyone said Ethereum was dead at 1,800 because it was going sideways. People need to understand that sideways is not a bad thing. Sideways action is simply just a consolidation for people to load up buying opportunities for the next leg overall. And again, on the daily time frame, the main level we have to break for this to play out for 3,300 is 27.96. Feel free to put that in your chart. 27.96 breaks, we have a massive long on Ethereum to $3,300. It is a massive V-shaped formation looking to play out. There's absolutely no resistance in between that zone because we can see multiple times previously that as soon as Ethereum broke above this little magical line right here, we saw a massive rip to the 3K region. So everyone understand, right now in the current chop though, on the 4-hour time frame, we want to be very careful in terms of areas of opportunity. So for me, right now, Bitcoin trading at 108K, I'm not looking at Ethereum like, 2,500 seems like a good long trade right here, right? Because I have the risk of getting chopped in between here. Instead, we're simply just going to either wait for this wick or, of course, the longer wick if you really want to play it safe, and then you can enter the trade setup. But Ethereum overall, guys, I do think is definitely good idea. Again, my opinion, good idea for a spot position long term. Because if you look at it from the 2021 level, we're still at 2,500. The peak for Ethereum was 4,500 all-time high. That's a pretty good risk to reward ratio that you can play in terms of spot position safely, right? What I mean, like safely, as in like, yes, it's boring. It's not just going to go up shooting stars to millions, right? But at the end of the day, that's not what we're looking for. We're looking for simple stuff right now in the current bull market that's very easy to play. And that's something that's easy to play. Same thing with Doge, right? If Ethereum ends up ripping, so will Doge. Doge will have its opportunity, again, just like we saw previously. But right now, Doge is not giving us the same strength. Doge's chart looks disgusting. It looks like a downtrend market as of right now. So there's reasons why I'm not making the, I can be like every other YouTuber and be like Doge to $5 and everyone gets super happy, but I'm not that guy. I'm not going to sit here and tell you some crazy price levels for Doge. Instead, I'm just going to tell you, just wait till a confirmation comes through the picture and then go ahead and take those positions. So everyone on the same page there? Does that make sense? Any questions? Do you guys want me to explain anything real quick? I've been talking for 20 minutes straight. Again, these are 30-minute sessions, nothing quick, just something you can watch on your own after, and you don't hear me blabbering on random stuff. Any last questions? Anything you want me to explain really quickly? And then if not, we'll end the stream there. That's pretty much all I had. I just wanted to make sure everyone's updated in charts. So the point of the Telegram, again, Telegram is completely free. I keep talking about it. For those of you that are joining in, it is a completely free channel. I post all my trades and everything on there. I have linked it in the chat box. But the point of the Telegram is just so everyone is on the same exact page. I don't want someone to be, try to counter trade. I mean, hey, if you want to counter trade me, go ahead. But if I don't want anyone to be on the wrong side of a trade. If the Telegram is going long, then you are also in the long trade. You're not in the short trade, right? So I hope that makes sense. But yeah, any questions or everyone good? I'm assuming everyone's good. Okay, we're good. All right, guys, appreciate the likes and the comments on all these videos all the time. I always tell you guys, like, look, I don't charge. I don't have a course. I don't have anything. All I ask is just for engagement on the tweets and stuff. It helps out. The family grows. We grow. It's nice. So, like I said, that's pretty much all I got in terms of trading. I will update the charts later tonight for Asia hours as usual. For the next 4 hours, I will probably be MIA again. And then we'll kind of go from there for Asia hours to see what's going on. And then if there is a trade, I will let you guys know in Telegram. thanks guys for tuning in. I appreciate it. I hope you guys learn from these live sessions, because again, that's just the thought process I'm trying to get across to you. This is why, right? This is how I trade. This is how I think, and I want you guys to kind of go ahead and back test it, think, figure it out on your own. But at the end of the day, like, this is something long term. Like, you are gonna see this long term, and you're gonna say, "Oh, I remember Pingu teaching me about that wick back in the day. I'm gonna take this trade. I'm gonna take that trade." That's the point, right? That's why I do these live sessions, is so you can A, ask questions, and B, pretty much go from there. Do I only trade majors? No, I have meme coins too, but there's a time and a place mostly. For altcoins, I do trade pretty much everything that you see: Cardano, XRP, PopGat. All of these pairs that you see are on the board for a reason, but I pick and choose the times, right? So if Bitcoin is kind of in the state where I don't think altcoins are going to run, then I won't send altcoins. But, you know, I'll focus on majors. But there is a time where I trade everything. If there's money to be made, I'll be there. But I also don't want to lead, you know, everyone into like a bloodbath. So that's why I pick and choose. Because again, you guys gotta understand, like, there's 2,500 people I'm responsible for, and all 2,500 people, I have to make sure that everyone is on the same page for the trade. So that's pretty much it. Yeah. All right, guys. Thanks again. Have a good day. Peace out.